Every day, the news repeats the same story. The economy is strong, jobs numbers are up, the stock market is hitting record highs. On paper, it seems like America's thriving. GDP growth is solid, corporate profits are soaring, unemployment is low, investors cheer, economists give optimistic reports, the media broadcasts the message over and over again. But step outside the headlines. Walk into a grocery store. Check the prices on your favorite foods. Visit a pharmacy. Look at the cost of prescriptions. Speak to a nurse, a teacher, a delivery driver, or a cashier at a local store. Then a different story begins to appear. If the economy is strong, why do so many people feel like they are struggling to survive? Why does paycheck-to-paycheck living seem more common than ever? This documentary isn't about political talking points or abstract charts. It's about a growing disconnect, the gap between economic numbers and the lives people actually live. There are two Americas when it comes to the economy. The first is the paper economy. This is the world of GDP reports, stock indexes, and corporate earnings. Quarterly statements flash green or red. Analysts discuss trends, growth rates, and projections. On paper, everything looks healthy. Companies earn profits, markets remain stable, official reports indicate that overall life in the country is strong. Then there's the second economy, the one that touches real lives, the one that Americans experience every day. This is the economy of rent checks, grocery bills, car payments, student loans, and medical expenses. In this economy, the story is far more complicated. People aren't measuring their success by GDP anymore. They measure it by whether they can pay rent this month, keep the lights on, and afford groceries. They measure it by whether they can handle unexpected medical bills, or whether their credit card balances are spiraling out of control. Officially, inflation has cooled. The numbers suggest that prices are rising more slowly, but that doesn't mean costs have decreased. A gallon of milk that doubled in price over 2 years has not suddenly become affordable. Rent that jumped 30% has not reset. Utilities and insurance costs continue to rise. So when experts say inflation is under control, many people feel a disconnect. Their paychecks haven't doubled, their expenses have, and the stress is real. This creates a slow, persistent pressure. It isn't dramatic, it doesn't explode suddenly, it quietly squeezes people. Over time, this squeeze is felt in every part of daily life: food, housing, transportation, healthcare, education, and even social interactions. Families adjust, skip luxuries, delay plans, and cut corners. Eventually, the stress accumulates, sometimes to breaking point. Jobs numbers may look positive on a graph, but job security tells another story. Many Americans are working, yes, but often in multiple jobs, short-term contracts, or gig work without benefits. They are professionals and service workers alike, struggling to maintain stability in unpredictable environments. Layoffs may not dominate headlines, but the fear is constant. People aren't just wondering if they will get a raise, they are asking, will I still have a job next year? Will my contract be renewed? Can I pay my bills if an unexpected expense occurs? Meanwhile, as the cost of living rises and wages lag behind, people increasingly rely on credit cards, buy now, pay later apps, personal loans. Debt becomes the bridge between surviving and thriving. At first, it feels manageable, temporary, a short-term solution. Over time, however, it becomes permanent. Minimum payments replace savings. Interest replaces progress. The future starts to feel borrowed. This isn't reckless spending, it's financial survival. Families do what they must to keep the lights on, to feed their children, to pay for essential medications. And yet, the statistics, the graphs, the reports, they don't tell this story. The American middle class was once defined by stability: a home, a car, healthcare, savings, hope for gradual upward mobility. Today, many feel trapped between the lower and upper tiers of society, too wealthy to qualify for financial aid or government assistance, too stretched to feel secure or make long-term plans. They aren't failing the system moved ahead, leaving them behind. Economic growth continues, but its benefits are concentrated among fewer people, widening inequality. Meanwhile, society continues to celebrate corporate profits, Wall Street gains, and stock market milestones. But those metrics do little to ease the stress of families living paycheck to paycheck, or the young adult burdened with student loans, or the worker facing a sudden layoff with no safety net. And when people stop trusting economic narratives, something deeper happens. They disengage, they stop planning, they lose confidence in the long term. They start measuring success in survival rather than growth. This isn't the failure of individuals, it is the outcome of an economy that looks strong in reports but feels precarious in daily life. The contrast is everywhere. Stock markets climb while families struggle to buy groceries. Corporate profits rise while teachers, nurses, and service workers take side jobs just to make ends meet. Reports of economic growth sit alongside stories of eviction, mounting debt, and financial anxiety. America's economy may appear strong on paper, but strength measured only in numbers is incomplete. Real strength is when people feel secure, when growth is experienced, not just reported, when stability reaches the families who live paycheck to paycheck, and when everyday life reflects the positive numbers seen in the headlines. Until the paper economy and real-life economy align, one question will remain: strong for whom? It is a question not only for economists or politicians, but for every American trying to live a life that matches the promise of prosperity. Because a truly healthy economy is not measured only in profits or stock indexes. It is measured in confidence, in security, in the ability to dream, to save, to plan, and to live without constant anxiety. Until that alignment happens, Americans will continue to feel the strain, while the headlines say everything is fine. And this is the story we cannot ignore.